Good afternoon. My apologies for the delay. We've been experiencing some connectivity issues. The first item of business this afternoon is time for reflection, and our time for reflection leader today is William Moore, Head of Operations in Scotland, Aid to the Church in Need UK.
Presiding Officer, members of the Scottish Parliament, thank you for inviting me to address you today. Before I worked for Aid to the Church in Need, I was a music teacher, and still to this day I find the fusion of words and music fascinating. So I'm going to begin with a quote by Bob Dylan. "Freedom just around the corner from you, but the truth so far off, what good would it do?" Tomorrow evening, Aid to the Church in Need's annual global campaign called Red Wednesday aims to shed light on the persecution of Christians and other faith minorities. This day asks us to stand in solidarity with those who suffer on account of their faith. The truth of the suffering of our brothers and sisters is not so far off. Understanding about the global situation not only demands our response, but confirms what we believe about freedom, the supreme value in our culture. Not the freedom to be indifferent, which is in the air we breathe in our culture, but the freedom to not stand by and let this suffering happen. I stand before you today with the relative freedom to say anything I want to say, to express my emotions, my feelings, my experiences of faith. But some of the people we help don't have that freedom. They can't voice their emotions, feelings, and experiences of faith for fear of harassment, arrest, torture, or death. Akash Bashir, who was 20, was on the welcome group at his church in Pakistan when he stopped a suicide bomber from entering the church, saving the 1,000 mass-goers inside. All because he believed in Jesus. Imam Labib, a 17-year-old high school student from Egypt, was killed by his classmates and his teacher after he refused to remove a crucifix he was wearing. All because he believed in Jesus. Diego Valencia, a volunteer of Our Lady of La Palma parish in Spain, was mistaken for the parish priest by militants and was chased outside the church and killed with a machete. All because he believed in Jesus. Very often in our society, we are asked to privatise our faith. But that's opposed to the New Testament, which says, "Proclaim the gospel to all nations." I invite you to reflect on the persecution of Christians and other faith minorities, to stand up for faith and for freedom, even when it meets with opposition, to be willing to declare the right to religious liberty confidently and with love. And I leave you with the words of St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Thank you. The next